Hi, Gouri. Welcome. And we just completed implementation of 3 months Simplify Mind system with you. So today we'll be knowing more about your experience. Before that, let's hear a brief introduction of yourself, like if you can share.
Thank you very much, Manoj, for giving me this opportunity. It was like past 3 months was wonderful experience with you. I have seen a lot of transformation in my productivity and a lot of things. We'll discuss this. And with me, I am Gouri Shanker Agrawal, and I am a sales coach, and I help startup companies to scale their business. And I'm doing it for last 2 years. And before that, I have an experience 15 years into sales, working with corporates, both Indian and multinational company I worked with. So this is my brief introduction, Manoj.
Yeah, good. And if I ask you, like, what is your overall experience? What is your overall feeling after completing these 3 months in Simplify Mind system?
My overall feeling, if I want to share, Manoj, there were a lot of moment where uh, I felt that transformation. But if I want to be very specific about, I would say that I have seen changes in my thought process altogether. A lot of habits we have developed. I have developed new habits, like almost 12 habits. So it's like kind of I'm not able to believe it, because before I met you, I thought that developing a new habit was a challenge for me, right? I have having some habits which I want to change. I wanted to change, but it was not helping me. Like I tried multiple times. So if I'm telling you overall experience, it was uh, amazing experience. So if I tell you about the uh, the development which I have seen in myself and around me, so I can see the development is not from one aspect. It's like a multiple things, be it personal development, be it change of the mindset, be it productivity, be it relationship with myself, be it relationship with my family member, be it business productivity. So overall, if I say that these are the areas where I have seen the great results after having these sessions with you.
Yeah, and I know that how much effort you have also put in these months to implement these things along with me. So I also really appreciate that. So one thing you mentioned about is you were facing challenges is related to building habits. What were the other challenges, problems you were facing 3 months back, and how it was impacting your life?
Okay, the challenges what I was facing, the first challenge, the major challenge was I was putting in effort. So as you know that in business we need to do multiple things as a solopreneur, like, and we get overwhelmed sometimes, we get into stress. The same thing was happening with me. I started thinking that I am putting in so much effort, but the results are not visible. What is the challenge? And I realized that even if I'm putting so much effort, I am putting in so much time. But if I calculate my productive time, that I'm not being so productive. So there were a lot of negative energy I was feeling. A negative energy in sense of procrastination, having worrying about things which is not even happening right now, but I'm worrying for the future. And that was actually stopping me to grow, right? Lack of focus, procrastination was major challenge for me. So this major challenge actually when I was facing, and we know each other, right? So I thought of contacting you, I thought of reaching out to you and look for a solution.
So these were the different challenges you were facing: procrastination, overthinking, negative thinking. And because of this, like you were putting the time, you were putting the efforts, but you were not productive, right?
Right.
So like how it was impacting your life, how it was impacting your work.
The impact was a huge impact, Manoj, if I have to say. Uh, so let's say if I'm working on certain things, right, and I get distracted. So what the distraction will lead me to stop that work and then keep shifting my focus in different things, which were not helping me at all, right? If suppose I have a priority today for my business or for my work, and I'm working on it. But then the distractions comes in terms of overthinking, procrastination, stress, lack of focus. So because of this distraction, I could not able to complete the task on time. And then when the result, I cannot see the result, that what I can say is, uh, the feeling of it, that I'm not able to, today I have to complete the task and I'm not able to complete. The next day, I used to have the bad feeling about the past, the last day, and the same continue because it's a cycle, right? So you are doing something and you are not getting the desired result. Same feeling will continue happening, and it will not add, it will not improve until unless you do something about it, right? So that was a challenge I was feeling. If I want to be very specific here, that was the exact challenge I was facing.
Yeah. So like you are putting the efforts, but you are not able to, you are jumping from one thing to another. You are not able to complete the things. And because of that, you are not getting the result which you desired, right?
Right.
So, like for how long you were into that, John?
Oh, it's been almost, I think, for last 1 year.
And in this 1 year, like, did you had this thought, this realization in your mind, like, I need to improve onto this, I need some support? What was there in your mind?
This realization was there always, and I thought that I can do it myself. Right? I did some changes in the past, so I thought I can do it. I started also implementing some timetable, blocking the time, everything. I started doing it because I thought that okay, these are not a big things, right? I can manage it. But when I started doing it, I realized it's not that easy for me. It's not that easy because one thing I realized during our last 3 months of training and all the sessions, that my mind is not in my control. So when my mind is not my control, it's not allow me to do what I want to do actually. So training the mind is something which I was struggling with. I understood that if I have to develop new habit, I have to be consistent, I have to be productive. I need to train my mind to work according to me. And that was the bigger challenge. And I believe also that because I am into coaching industry, right? I know that this is the one challenge which most of the people struggle. And I was also struggling the same challenge. And after meeting you, I understood that yes, when we discuss about how mind works, how we can train our mind to be more productive, then I realized yes, this is the one challenge which I could not able to overcome.
Yeah. So
Right.
you
So I
had this,
tried multiple things, but it was not helping me.
yeah. So you had this realization, and you also knew some of the solutions. You also tried certain things, but because the mind was not in control, it was not trained. Because of that, you were not able to implement
True.
those things, right?
Yes.
And like when you were uh, in that moment when you were joining this Simplify Mind system, what exactly made you to do that? Like what motivated you? What was there in your mind at that time?
So it's very simple, Manoj. Yeah, I've seen that you being training to a lot of people, right? And they are getting result. That is one thing. And because uh, I've been taking coaching earlier also, like I have taken help of parental coach, and I know the power of coaching, right? If you cannot do anything, definitely you need help from the expert. That is one thing. Second is it was impacting my business, right? That is what I don't want, right, to have an impact, because that is where we are all are working. So to get a solution, I actually reach out to you. So if you ask me what triggered me, I was looking out for a solution. I was doing something, it was not helping me, it was not under my control. So I thought of contacting an expert who can help me and guide me, and that was you.
Yeah. So you had tried doing things on your own first, but then when you see that it's not working, then you were looking for the solution.
Right.
All right. Now, when you have implemented this Simplify Mind system in the last 3 months, what specific part of this system which you found most beneficial, and like why?
Okay, so this program, Simplify Mind System, I find it's a very structured program, right? It's not something like you go out and do, right, and you get result. It's the program itself has built with putting in very it's a like a complete with your experience and whatever you have implemented in your life and you are helping others. I think this is the structure approach. What worked for me is one thing, if I say that getting stuck to the system or following the system, following the process. So, and it's not that very difficult. I thought it could be difficult implementing new, habits, building new habits, or removing some of my unwanted habits. It was really difficult for me. But with your system, step-by-step process, it became very easy, and I could able to implement it. Right? That is what I felt, that the system which you have built, it's completely helping people who want to actually come out of certain unwanted habits and build new habits, become more productive in their work, in their daily life. This system is exactly working for me, and it worked for me as well.
Yeah. So you have found it easy to implement and in a structured way.
Right.
And after implementing this, what is the biggest bang you have got as a result after implementing this?
So there are a lot of banks, I would say, but if I have to be very specific about one or two banks, I would want to share is one is my productive hours has increased multiple times. Like it's by of 5x, fifth. Like I was earlier, I was working full day. I could able to see that only I am able to give only 3 hours, 3 productive hours, and now that three putting in the same time, the productive hours are not now increased to up to 9 hours, 9 hours per day. So earlier, uh, the same amount of work was taking me for 3 days to complete the same amount of work. I can now complete in one day time. So this is the biggest bang, because time is money for us, right? Money, we don't understand. This is one of the challenge which we don't understand, especially in when we are in business, when we are a startup. Money, time is money for us, and then I can save extra 5 hours, 6 hour time, and can implement work, and I get sufficient time for with my family also, right? So what this is one of the major bang for me, that I could able to have 5 more productive hours every day.
Yeah.
And if you ask me about second bank, again, I want to share that I have achieved much more in my business after I started implementing this, process, this Simplify Mind process. So earlier, like I could able to close 1 or 2 deals in a week's time or in a month's time. Now I could able to close 4 or 5 deals in a month. So now the financial growth I can see clearly with this implementing this process.
Yeah. So like earlier you were operating at 3 hours, 3 productive hours per day, and which has
Right,
increased now to 9 hours per day. It's like
right,
3 times more, right?
right.
And then you mentioned you have got business growth also, right? So if I ask you what helped you to increase these productive hours? Like how Simplify Mind System helped you to achieve that?
The productive hours that I started actually counting the time every day. I have hourly tracker. I was working on the hourly tracker. I started working on it, where I'm spending time, how much time I'm spending in what, where. So when I started doing it, I realized that I'm I'm actually wasting a lot of time without even realizing. Like I don't have a realization that where the time is going. If I'm working on, let's say, a task require 1 hour to complete, I'm sitting on that task, and instead of I'm giving 1 hour, but maybe the task which I complete in 1 hour, I could have done it in 15 minutes or 20 minutes also. And when I have a tracker, time tracker, there is a time restriction. I see that I can achieve more in less time. So having the time tracker, hourly tracker, then weekly tracker, that has actually helped me to be more productive, because I can see that this is someone like who is guiding me, who is like monitoring me and seeing me how I am working, what I am doing. And actually, I started realizing that where I am wasting time and how I can improve and be more productive.
Yes. So tracking is one thing which has helped you in terms of how
Right.
you are utilizing your time, right? And now, like you are able to get things done in a lesser time, which is
Hmm.
giving you opportunity to do more things and get results faster. So as you mentioned,
Right.
like now you are able to close more deals in the same time. So
Right.
yeah, that's great. And any surprising things, any unexpected benefit you realized in these 3 months?
Unexpected benefit is one thing. Now I'm being very conscious about a lot of things. To give an example, when I'm talking to prospect also, I'm now able to connect more easily with prospects. I'm able to, understand them more easily because I've improved my focus. I can see clearly I have improved my focus. I'm now not being distracted from things because of we are practicing it for last 3 months. I'm doing it, and that has actually given me a lot of breakthroughs in my business also. Second thing, uh, talking about the same thing, relationship also has improved with myself, my relations with myself. Earlier we have done a lot of things about affirmation and how I talk about myself. I improve family relationship also because now being very conscious, I know how to respond to certain things, right? So that has actually helped me a lot. So this was a surprising moment for me when I see, especially coming from someone else, when client is saying that, hey, you understand me completely now, like you know exactly what I'm going through. So that deep level of focus is what I got from this program, Simplify Mind System.
Yeah, so like your focus has improved, and that is helping you to improve the communication,
Right.
understand the other people, be it your prospect or relations with that, right? Good. So
True.
yeah, and I have been talking a lot about this, like simplifying the mind, training the mind. Now, when you
Hmm.
have experienced this in your own words, like what it means to simplify the mind, to train the mind.
Okay. Earlier, when before joining a program, I was not having much idea about, and I felt that it's very complex. Things are very complex. But after having initial discussion with you and going through this practice, I realized that most of the time our mind is not in our control, and even we don't realize it. That is a bigger challenge that we don't realize it. So with my experience, that training the mind is required, right? you you are there, you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. Now when you train your conscious mind, it will get trained, and whatever decision you will take, it's under your control. So that is a bigger realization with for me. If I have to define what is simplifying mind system, I'll say that just simplifying mind system is that you don't allow your mind to work against you. You allow your mind only to work for you because you are taking control of your mind. And this is the bigger realization. This is the bigger, then you will get a bigger results when mind is in our control. So this is something which I understood about the simplify mind system, that how we can take control of our mind by doing simple things, simple practices.
So, like having more control on our mind and not creating that friction within ourselves, but like getting aligned so that our mind is working for us. Right.
Right. Being aligned with what things we want to do, and make sure that our mind is aligned with these things.
Absolutely. Great. So, like all these things which you implemented in these 3 months in Simplify Mind System, what did you find different or better from the things which you have done earlier, the things which you tried earlier?
Okay, so what things I like about, as I told you earlier, that I was not doing this hourly tracking. I think that has helped me a lot. Uh, Having the realization one. Second thing is the goal part. Like I was writing goals, I was implementing goals. So when I am tracking things, the goals, my business goals or my personal goals, my family goals, I'm more aligned to the goals now. Earlier, it was like kind of a surface level. Now it's a deep level understanding of the goals, and how I can achieve the goals is very clear now for me. And I know that it's achievable. If I implement this thing, I keep on doing it over time. So what you have created for me is like a system which I implement for rest of my life, and I'll keep on getting results. So that has actually helped me. And earlier I was not doing, because I was not knowing certain things. The fundamentals I was not knowing. I have a timetable, I have a goal sheet with me, but don't have a control in my mind. Obviously, I'm not able to achieve that. So now when I have a control in my mind, I know I develop certain habits because I keep on doing the things regularly, I keep on practicing things, then I can achieve. So people who don't go through it don't understand how mind works. And if they just try to, try to implement things or without having a control in mind, they do procrastination, they go into stress, they lack focus, chances are they will not able to achieve that until unless they take control of their mind. And then they wonder why things are not happening, right? So that is the one thing which I was also facing earlier, and after joining I'm doing it much better, having a control in my mind and align with my goals.
So like you have understood the things at a fundamental level. You have
Hmm.
implemented those things, you have experienced those things, which you can continue to implement and benefit throughout your life going forward,
Right.
right? And
True.
one thing is like we entrepreneurs, founders, we put lots of effort. There are many uncertain things. So like, how was your emotional state earlier, and now what has changed in your emotional state?
Emotional state, if I talk about it, obviously, when earlier I was not getting results, things were not going around me. I was not having very good relationships with myself or people around me. Obviously, the energy, when we talk about emotions, I understand it as an energy which flows. Uh, Energy will be always in the negative zone. When energy in the negative zone, we'll not able to take action, required action, or will delay things doing. So uh, emotions, if we are talking about, I believe that I am right now in a very positive emotional state. And even if I get go sometime now, like we are human beings, right? So we cannot be always in a positive zone. We sometimes go into a lower zone or low feelings. But having understanding that, oh, I am in a lower zone right now. Now let me do something to get into a higher zone. That understanding is required. That I understand that if I'm going into a lower zone, having that understanding that this is not going to help me being here in this zone, let me do something to go in again in the positive zone, in a higher zone, higher energy zone. So this understanding, sometimes we call it as a emotional intelligence, right? These are other fancy word, but I see it in a very simple way, that having the control or being very conscious about what you are doing, how you are responding to the things. It could be external, internal things that is required, right? And this is emotions for me. I also go through lower phase still now. Also, I go through, but I know how to overcome it. Maybe a lot of people who have not done this exercise, they get into this zone, the lower feeling, the lower self zone, and they keep on be there in the zone for a longer time, and that is how they will not be productive. But with this process, I know now how to come out of that zone easily.
So like now you are more aware of your emotional state, and when you see you are going down, then you implement things which helps you to bounce back fast, right?
Yes, true.
Great. So at last, like what is that one message you would like to give to the people who are watching this, who are listening to this, especially the startup founders, entrepreneurs? What will be your message?
Okay. So because I am also working with startup founders, I'm also helping in sales. So I realize one thing, that uh, startup founders are people who started a business. They want to grow in their business, and they do a lot of things in day-to-day activities. There are a lot of things. They also go through the lower phase. They go into procrastination, stress, everything. Now, if I have to give advice, I would say that you may be feeling that even I was having that kind of feeling, that maybe because I do certain things in my business, and I start getting results. Maybe uh, uh, I am doing something wrong in my business, but that understanding may be not helping you sometime. What you require is your business grow at the level you grow, right? If you are not growing personally, your business will not grow. And personal development means development of yourself, development of your uh, having a, what we call it, understanding of how your brain works, understanding of how things work, being productive. These are things which we help us to grow in business. So my one message to these people who are business founders, who are startup founders, is if things are not working, just go a step back, understand, are you able to give the productive time, or if you are even giving time, is it the productive time you are giving it? Is your priorities aligned with your business priorities? The task which you are doing, is it aligned or not? And this only will help when you have someone who can guide you, who can help you implement things in your business or in your personal life, right? So try to understand that what things are working, what things are not working for you, and take a help from people who can really help you overcome these challenges. That is what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Gauri. Despite your busy schedule, coming here and sharing your experience, what are the things which has helped you. And I also really appreciate the efforts which you have put in these 3 months to bring this transformation. It was because you took the responsibility, you accepted the things which were not working, and then you started implementing the things which I was suggesting you. So I really appreciate that, and best wishes for you for the future.
Thank you very much, Manoj. I really appreciate you first. Like, and I really thank you to giving me that guidance and be with me. I know that it was not we started with something implementing, and you have given your full support. Because of you, if you're not given that kind of support, if not understood me clearly, I could not have done this. So thank you, actually. Thank you very much.
And let's keep growing together more and more.